Today's Monday and it's the start of a very exciting week.
Hey guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury drum machines here in Nottingham, England.
You may have heard in our previous videos, but this week I'm going to Nashville, Tennessee, all the way over in America, and I'm going to be vlogging every single day. I've got so much planned for this trip, and I can't wait to bring you guys along with me. But to start off the week, I'm here at Squealing Pig Guitars HQ, here in the studio where we film all the videos. I'm going to be making the trip down to London today as I'm flying out of Heathrow tomorrow morning. But as I'm going to London, I thought it would only be appropriate to visit my friends over at the Gibson Garage London. So come along with me, let's go to the Gibson Garage in London. But before we go, I'm going to give you a quick studio tour of the Squealing Pig Guitars HQ. So you guys will be used to seeing the setup looking like this, very, very decorative indeed, but as you come back you can start to see the detritus that comes behind the scenes. Obviously we use softbox lights, we've got a little table down here. Normally this camera is mounted on this tripod here, and you can see down there as so. It's quite a simple setup, it's quite a small room in general, but we just use two big white softbox and then kind of like a dimmer in the middle. We just use one camera for our setup, however we do want to kind of expand this setup soon. Now the bit that you've all been waiting for is the setup that I use. So you'll obviously hear me say about the Kemper profiler. I tend to use that mostly in my sessions, even though I'm wanting to hopefully upgrade to some sort of amplifier in the future. Some of you guys might have a hint of what that amplifier will be, but this is my current setup. So to spin the camera around, we've got a Kemper profiler rack. This is quite an old one. I actually bought this second hand a couple of years ago, but it's a really cool versatile kind of profiler. Obviously you've got your effects section here, amplifier and reverb. You can see here it says Better Call Saul. This was a patch I did for the Les Paul custom free pickup video. Basically got a bit of tremolo effects, but I tend to use the AC30 profile for most of my rigs. That then goes down into this little Personas box down here, which is just basically a USB interface, and it just goes into input 2 going into my Mac. So that goes from the USB interface all the way through here. If you follow me, we'll go to here, which is my desk. So yeah, this is my desk. That's where I do all the kind of audio tracking and editing, and it just comes from this MacBook Pro, which is just getting screened onto this monitor. It's an extremely simple setup. I typically just use GarageBand for my audio, as it's just one, audio stream. I add a little bit of compression maybe and a little bit of reverb, but really there's not really much EQing to be done, as I want it to be an honest representation of the tone of the guitar. And then for the editing software, I just use iMovie. It's very simple. It's something I've always used when I was doing my Instagram videos. Moving on to YouTube, I just find it the most easiest kind of tool for me. I've used Final Cut Pro and stuff like that, but I find this a little bit easier. I do all the editing for the Squealing Pig Guitars videos, as well as obviously being in the videos. So it is a lot of work, but we really enjoy doing the videos here at Squealing Pig Guitars, and it's really great to see you guys enjoying the videos. I must interject here a big thank you to everybody who's been subscribing and liking and commenting and all that stuff. Engaging with the content, we really, really appreciate it. But that's pretty much the setup that we use here at Squealing Pig Guitars. This is in the office building. Across the road from here, we actually have the shop as well, an in-person shop, which you guys can come and visit if you'd like. That has just been recently renovated, so when I get back from Nashville, I'll make sure to do a full shop tour when I get back, as there's some pretty cool guitars in there. As I mentioned, I've got a video to film before I get going today, as I want to have some footage to edit on the plane. Obviously, it's like a 9-hour flight or whatever. So let me show you the beauty that I'm going to be filming today. So here we are, we have a PRS Modern Eagle 5. I love green guitars, so when I saw this, I just had to film it before I left. So just looking at this beast is absolutely stunning. I'm a massive fan of green guitars and green bursts in general. I better get filming this video, as I only have about an hour and a half till I need to leave. So let's go and put this Modern Eagle 5 through its paces. But yeah, that's pretty much the setup we use here at Squealing Pig Guitars, so let's get on the road and head to Beeston train station. Just arrived at Beeston train station now, getting the train to London St Pancras.
Train arriving at London St Pancras, our final station.
So I've just arrived in London now, so I'm going to go and head to the Gibson Garage, so let's get the tube.
Whilst you see these lovely cut shots of London, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and leave a like if you're enjoying the video. But onwards, let's get to the Gibson Garage. So I arrived at the Gibson Garage around mid-afternoon, and this really is a guitar player's paradise. Everywhere you look there is a dream guitar. They have so many made-to-measure and exclusive builds that are absolutely mouth-watering.
So after arriving at the Gibson Garage and obviously having a look around, I met up with my friend Telmo and we had a little jam. So let's hear a little bit of that now. I was playing a 59 Olive Drab 335 and it's absolutely glorious. So let's hear it. So after that awesome jam, I browsed some of the electric Spanish models, the ES models. This is, you know, a model that's very close to my heart. I really love the ES 335, 345, 355s, and they actually have the green burst that I really liked the last time I visited the Gibson Garage. But after obviously looking at some of these awesome models, I decided to go to the acoustic section. The model that caught my eye was this SJ200 in a Murphy Lab finish, and I have limited experience with the Murphy Lab acoustics, and yeah, this one really just spoke to me, so I had to grab it off the wall and have a little play. So let's see how she sounds. So after playing that beautiful acoustic, I went over to the electric section and they handed me the guitar of the week, which happened to be this beautiful ES 355 in a Pelham blue finish with Trini Lopez F-holes.
It's a really nice sound. Feel free to play about with it.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Here I'm plugged into a Mesa Boogie Fillmore.
This one ain't unique or anything, but it's just cool.
I love the look of that case, I'll tell you now.
Yeah?
Then Telmo brought out this beauty, which is a beautiful Pelham blue Firebird. So let's hear him talk about it now.
I think Pelham Blue is, after Gold Top, our most iconic metallic finish. Because it's as old, it dates back to the 50s, right?
Yeah.
You started to see Pelham Blue in the late 50s, and then they start creeping out into our range in the early 60s.
This guitar was so classic and absolutely stunning. I really enjoyed looking at this one. And then I got handed, which I quote, the heaviest Explorer in the shop, which is a Korina Explorer with a really cool kind of tobacco burst, sunburst finish. This was very interesting to play, so let's hear it now. I also got to check out the new Eric Clapton signature model, which is a recreation of his free pickup Black Beauty, which is so cool to see in the flesh. The relicking job on this was so sublime. You have to try this guitar out if you're around the Gibson Garage. It was just so awesome to look at. And then Telmo found my dream guitar of the day, which was this beautiful 59 reissue olive drab Gibson 335, which I used for the previous jam you heard. But here's another take from the jam that we played, so let's hear it now. So that pretty much concluded my trip to the Gibson Garage in London, and as always I'd like to say a big thank you to Telmo and all of the team over at Gibson Garage in London for helping me film and giving me permission to film. If you're a fan of Gibson guitars, you have to visit this place. It has everything you'd ever want, so make sure to go and check out the Gibson Garage in London. So guys, I've just checked into the hotel, but what a day it's been in London. I had a great time at the Gibson Garage. A big thank you to Telmo and all the guys at the Gibson Garage for letting me film and jam and all that other stuff. Telmo also taught me a thing or two about jazz, which was awesome, so thank you to Telmo. But now I'm actually just uploading a video to put up now. It's actually the Nighthawk video, which you guys would have already seen before these. I think I'm going to try and do these vlogs, you know, as daily as I can. I'm going to be filming daily, but whether I can get them out daily is another thing. But I'll try my best to get the content out as quickly as I can.
But thank you so much for checking into the Squealing Pig Guitars vlog. If you like these vlogs, make sure to comment down below and hit the like button. It's going to be a really cool adventure to Nashville, so you don't want to miss out. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified when we make a new post. You guys are the reason why I'm able to make this trip to Nashville, so thank you so much and thank you for watching. But that is enough thank yous. My name is Ben Keightley and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. But until then, keep rocking guys. I'll see you soon.